So, hello, Randy.
Hello
Thank you for meeting with me.
Oh, look, it's an absolute delight to be met with.
I know. I have never had so much fun before midnight. We'll even make it 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Look, it's
Great.
like 4 p.m.
So
and
early.
This is just like such a funky, cutting-edge celebrity New York City meets Australia experience.
Isn't this
there.
amazing?
You know.
Normally, when I have this much fun at this time of the afternoon, I haven't slept from the night before.
Well, your eyes do look a little glazed, but we won't get into that. Seriously, yes. So look, I'm wearing purple.
Oh my God!
Is it like looking in the mirror, looking at me?
It really is. It is looking into a paisley mirror.
Oh, please!
It's beautiful.
I'm getting all verklempt. That's a New York term.
Verklempt.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know what it means. It's Hebrew or Yiddish, I think so. But
verklempt.
Yes. So I brought you a little present.
Oh my gosh!
Because I remember you said that there were no blue foods in existence,
right.
and I said no. Adirondack blue potatoes, they exist. So yes, these are really blue, especially when you cook them. And I know you being a vegetarian and all that.
Yes.
If you cook these up with onions and a little bacon or ham, oh God, it's the best. It really is.
All right, well, I'll go without the bacon products, but I'm going to eat the hell out of those potatoes.
Well, there is your blue food.
What a delight. Thank you so much for bringing
Do I lie?
those in.
Do we lie? Oh, there's no audience here. Never mind. All right, forget it. Okay.
Oh,
not yet,
wonderful.
anyway.
Thank you. I'm so excited about that.
I am so excited, too. So I hope these rude New Yorkers, my fellow rude New Yorkers, are treating you well. I know the last time when I saw you on stage, you were talking about line rage and the phenomenon of line rage.
Yes. There's a little bit of that. Actually, you know what? New Yorkers are surprisingly patient in line. That I've only seen a few examples of line rage, but very impatient in traffic. You know, I travel around the world occasionally. I've done it a couple of times, and people use their horns as, like in Southeast Asia, for example. Bip, bip, I'm here. Bip, bip, excuse me. Bip, bip, coming through. Bip, bip, this is where I am. Bip, bip, don't crash into me in New York. For ages. Have you noted? Why are you looking at me with such surprise? Have you not left the house in the past 10 years? Oh. People get on their horns and they just sit on them. It's not an accusation. I'm not having a go at you. I feel like I've hit a raw nerve.
Thank you. No.
I can't see this, but I can't tell whether he's taken aback, shocked, offended, surprised, aroused. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Just embarrassed by my fellow New Yorkers for that and all that. It's just terrible. Maybe if they got laid more often, they wouldn't be so horny. Get it?
Hey!
High five.
Yes.
Or a high four. Okay.
Some felt.
Yes.
That was a visual gag.
May the felt be with you. Oh, that was bad. I apologize for that. So
right. You get one of them.
Yes. So during the last show, you also promised that we were going to hear some excerpts for your novel.
Yes.
Now, since it's just the two of us, and my 3.K, my 3 followers, on social media, do you think we can get a little taste, maybe?
Of the novel?
Yes.
No way!
No.
No, I'm not giving that shit away for free.
Well...
It was the worst of times. It was the other times. That's the first sentence. No, look, you know what? You saw a show where I didn't read any of the book out.
Well, again, it's not your fault. It was those, those rude New Yorkers in the audience.
Which show did you see?
That kept disrupting. Oh, it was called Randy Writes a Novel.
No, what night were you in?
Oh, I was here, God, I'm trying to remember. It was definitely during the first week.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
God, that's going back a ways. No, you'll have to come and see it again if you want to hear me read it out.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah, strap in for that, my friend.
Yes, you're even more handsome and up close and personal, by the way.
Flirtation will get you nowhere in this business, my friend.
Well, we'll try again later then. So now, my celebrity crush, used to be Hugh Jackman. Yes, I think he's a fellow Aussie of yours.
He is indeed. Why did it used to be? Why is it no longer Hugh Jackman?
Well, because Chris Hemsworth came into the picture.
Another Australian.
Yes.
Wow, you've really got a thing for Australians.
I sure do. So, yes, those are my biggest celebrity crushes up until recently.
Right.
Hint. So why don't we?
I don't get the hint. Who is it now?
Oh, it's another Australian. But,
who is it now?
No. I'm blushing. Oh
my God, so am I.
I'm turning red, but you're staying purple.
No, I know, it's weird. It's strange.
So, but who is Randy Feltface? Who is your celebrity crush?
Good Lord. This is a really good question because I want to answer it seriously, but it changes on a daily basis. My current celebrity crush is actually, you know what? Darren Brown. We talked about him just recently when, I don't know if you were in the room before, but we were discussing him off air. We were talking about Darren Brown. He's an illusionist and amazing mind-bending dude from the UK. He's actually, you know what? That's a lie. This is true. My celebrity crush is a magician from the UK by the name of Pete Furman. Look up Pete Furman. I love him. Pete, if you're listening to this, I miss you. I miss you, Pete. I miss you so much, man. Why don't you ever call me anymore? Pete, jokes and tricks.
Pete Furman, everybody, look it up. That's F-U...
F-I.
F-I, as in the tree.
Yeah.
R-M-A-N. Okay, awesome. So before we read an exclusive excerpt from the novel that everybody's going to hear...
Not gonna happen.
So, well, has any audience member ever gone, I know that you, you get the crowd revved up. Has any audience member ever gone, completely, Nutso Blood when you do the show?
Yes. Not here. But I've had Nutso Blood audience members. But by Nutso Blood, I mean, I assume you mean enthusiastic, not violent?
Well, where they start yelling back or being very rude or insulting.
Nutso Blood is insulting.
Yes, or
not really, because...
Well, you trigger something. I think that's the current, that's the overused media term now.
There's been
trigger something.
Look, there's been a few debates in different audiences, and a few threats have been made occasionally, but generally I shut it down. I did have someone come up on stage once and try to insert my typewriter into my face, but they didn't get very far with that, unfortunately, because it's too big. But, it happens. Nutso Blutso. And I encourage it at the start of the show. In fact, I say if anyone wants to go Nutso Blutso, this is the show in which to do it. Get amongst it.
Yes, well, tell them to keep their hands and your typewriter to themselves.
To themselves. We don't need that shit. I don't want it, but I encourage it.
Exactly.
Where do you live?
Oh, I've lived in New York my whole life.
Whereabouts?
Well, I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in Long Island.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you. And now, don't hold it against me, but I do live in one of the outer boroughs.
Which one?
Queens.
Oh, great. You know what? I went to Queens for the first time yesterday.
Get out.
I went to Astoria.
Ah, yes.
I went to see the Jim Henson exhibition at the Museum for Moving Image thingammy. You know where I'm talking about?
Yes,
across the road from the studios there. You know, you're looking at me like you think you know what I'm talking about, but you don't really.
Oh, no.
You know the Museum for Moving Image in Astoria?
Yes,
yes.
Great. Yeah, it's one of New York's hidden gems there.
Oh, it's amazing. It's great. And there's a Jim Henson exhibition on at the moment, which is ongoing. So I went there and lost my mind. It was beautiful.
Oh, no doubt.
I got quite emotional, in fact. It was an emotional time.
Yes. Did people start calling security that you escaped from the glass?
No. They were just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's here to see that. That makes sense. Yeah, that was real good. But Queens is cool. It's refreshing. Well, because I'm living in the West Village while I'm here.
Oh.
And going across to Queens was really great because I could see the sky and it felt more suburby. It felt more real. It felt more raw. I had a great falafel panini at a deli in Queens, in Astoria. And the name of the deli was called You Crave It, or something with a K instead of a C, or I crave it, or you crave it, something like that. Like a play on the word like crave.
Yes, Queens has the distinction of being the most, and this is a true story, a true fact,
Hit me.
Yes, of being the most ethnically diverse borough in New York, but possibly even the country.
Right, which is awesome because I live in Melbourne, which is a very culturally diverse city, and so I felt very at home being over there and seeing a bunch of different, like a melting pot of cultures.
Yes.
Plus, having a falafel panini was an absolute treat.
Yes,
really great.
Mixing ethnicity when it comes to food. That's what Queens is all about.
That's what we haven't really. I mean, Melbourne has a lot of really great food, but we haven't nailed the deli. I mean, here you walk into a deli that looks like it looks. Let's be honest. The decor, no one's made an effort. The layout of the store, baffling at best. People behind the counter, unenthusiastic but mildly friendly, But then you order something and eat it, and fuck me if it isn't the most delicious piece of food that has ever passed through my felty lips. So I love that. The unassuming. If you walked into a deli in Australia that looked like some of the delis that I've been in here, you would have to just immediately assume the food was going to be of a poor quality. But here, the unassuming deli dishes out the deliciousness. You know what I mean? That's what I love about New York. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, all right.
Yes.
And I hope everybody has a new appreciation for the delicatessen.
The sound of
or
one man clapping.
The deli, yes. I know. I know how Australians that you love your nicknames for everything. We have a couple. Deli. That's short for delicatessen.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Yes.
Yep.
So
we have that one as well.
Yes. Let's get some brekkie at the deli.
Some brekkie. Yep. Smashing some brekkie. At the deli.
Of course.
Yep.
So again, before we get into that exclusive excerpt for the novel for my readers there. So how has the show changed? Because you mentioned that you've been doing this for a long time. You know.
The show in New York or over the course of its life?
Well, a little bit of both, maybe, how you changed it for America.
Yes, I
except
did.
for eliminating some of the references that some of our less sophisticated audience members might not get, like what's a kookaburra? I'm going to have to Google that,
Yeah. Well, you do have to I do try to generally localize a lot of the comedy when I travel, but in America specifically, or at least in New York, I found that the show has evolved almost on a daily basis out of pure desperation to try to make the audience members laugh at least one or two jokes in the show, because it's hard to make you people laugh when you don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know if people can't understand me, if they just look at me and go, well, I don't know what the fuck this is. But generally it's taking a little bit of time to find, and I think I found it. It's a rhythmic thing as well. When your ears are tuned to a certain rhythm, when you divert from that rhythm, sometimes it can be hard to kind of pick up on what's going on. And my rhythm is different to yours, New York. I've got a different rhythm. I dance to the beat of a different drummer.
I think that was a song by Linda Ronstadt.
It was?
Oh, woo! Yeah. All right, that's your second piece of trivia for the night,
Yes. What
So,
was the first piece?
I don't remember, but the delicatessen, yes. So, again, before we give that exclusive excerpt, is there anything else you'd like to tell?
Really pushing towards this exclusive excerpt.
I'm not being pushy.
I want to talk more about the blue potatoes. No, is there anything more I want to tell you?
Yes, the blue potatoes,
Crack one open.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the sound of a potato packet being opened.
Woo!
And this is the sound of me
Yes, jiggle.
roughly fingering a potato on the stage.
Ooh, sounds sexy, doesn't it?
It's not. It's really not. It's just me trying to pick up a potato. It's very kind of you to bring those. That is a kind gesture, sir.
Well, yes. Again, because I couldn't sleep for days after you said that there were no blue foods. So I'm I am determined. I am going to find the last blue food out there. And sure enough, I found the Klondike blue potatoes.
It's so great.
I have missed that. Oh, I know.
You're a wonder. You're a wonder.
Oh, I know. Thank you. So finally, is there anything else you'd like to tell your fans and your fans-to-be? Besides come see the show, there's got to be something else.
Read more books. Just read books all of the time. Put your tablets away. Turn off your computers. Get rid of your smartphones. Read books. That's my opinion. That is all I have to say. Real books. Hold them in your hand. Smell them. Go to the library. Go to the library and smell the books. Go and smell an old book. That's all my advice to the people out there. Smell an old book and get out of town, man. If you live in New York, I went to Cold Spring. I know it's a bit fancy pants. Get yourself an antique lamp for $8 million, but there's a ruins up in Cold Spring, the Corniche estate. Do you know about the Corniche family?
No.
There's an old estate hidden up in the mountains of Cold Spring, up near Breakneck Ridge. And there's this, you walk through the forest and there's this beautiful old mansion that was built in, I think, 1915. And then it was abandoned in the late 20s, or mid-20s, I think, because both... both of the Cornishes, they died within 2 weeks of each other, the man and woman who owned the estate, and they left it to their nephew, and then he let it sort of go into disrepair, and then it burnt down in the 50s, and now it's just this old ruins of a mansion in the middle of the forest. Get out of town, take a book, go on the train. It's only an hour and a half. Go to the Corniche Ruins, live a little New York, feel it in your soul face. That's it. That's my advice.
Wow. All right. So, now the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to read from the novel.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for this? Randy's novel. It's called
So excited.
Walking to Sky, Chapter 1. Okay, here we go. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jem got his arm badly broken at the elbow. When it healed and Jem's fears of never being able to play football were assuaged, he was seldom self-conscious about his injury. His left arm was somewhat shorter than his right when he stood or walked. The back of his hand was at right angles to his body. His thumb parallel to his thigh. He couldn't have cared less, so long as he could pass and punt. When enough years had gone by to enable us to look back on them, we sometimes discussed the events leading to his accident. I maintained that the Yules started it all, but Jem, who was 4 years my senior, said it started long before that. He said it began the summer Dill came to us.
Wait a minute. Wait, stop.
Boo Radley come out.
Boo Radley and Dill,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Copyright infringement. Number 27. This interview is over. We're done. He fell off his seat, folks. It was a visual gag. I don't know if he's going to get up. Medic! Medic!
Just think of it as the latest contribution to this pile of rubbish that's on the floor.
Medic!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Randy. Randy writes a novel now playing at the Clermont Theater on New York City's famous Theater Row on 42nd Street. Come see it.
Make sure you do.